Ready?
I'm sorry.
Hi, and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
We are at Mesa Verde National Park.
Waiting to go through the entrance area here. We've already been to the visitor center. And this is a part, what I just showed you at the very beginning here, you may not take trailers through here, but they do have trailer parking. So if you're towing an RV, they have a place over here where you can leave it.
Yeah.
But while we were at Longmont, there was a couple there from Australia in a, one of the Tour America or Travel America or Class C's. And they were in the U.S. for, I believe, 3 weeks and planning on hitting 25 national parks. And so we were visiting, and they said they'd been to Sequoia and Yellowstone, Sequoia and Yosemite and Redwoods, etc., and Olympic. And I said, well, of the parks you've seen so far, what's your favorite? And they said, oh, Mesa Verde. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, that they knew that they wouldn't be able to do a lot because they had the Class C, but that you could see everything from the road. Folks, this was not really on our list for this trip, but since we were essentially in the area, decided, hey, let's head over there, and we just talked to the ranger.
Yes, and the ranger, we talked about accessibility, and the main thing is you can see everything from the road.
Yeah, and so we do have binoculars here if we need that, but she said, you can get out and hike down to any of the dwellings you want to.
But you want to be careful at this time of the year because it does get hot in the afternoons and you got to carry plenty of water and you learn something new every day.
Yeah, we thought this was right off the road. Well, it's 20 miles back to the museum and then 23 to the cliff dwellings. So the lady in the visitor center, which is right at the entrance, well, before you go through the paid entrance area, they got to tow a trailer because they're going to the campground. Yeah. Sorry. She said it was going to be 45 minutes to the museum, and I thought, yeah, well, I guess she knew. Okay. We'll catch you later. Okay. I'm just going to call this Mesa Verde coming from the other side because all of the videos that I had seen about people going to Mesa Verde, their focus was on climbing inside of the dwellings themselves. Yes. And this was a place, and you're just going to be seeing some of the things we've seen throughout the day. But this was a place that, Mylene had read about and just said there are going to be hikes and there's really no need for us to go. And so I'm so thankful that the couple from Australia told us to.
There were hikes that you can go on ranger-led tours, and they would take you down to the dwellings and you could climb around in them.
Okay, one of the first things I'm going to tell you that was a huge shock to me, and that is from the visitor center at the entrance, it's 20 miles back to the cliff dwellings.
Yes, to the museum before you get to the cliff dwellings.
And I believe the campground is 5 miles in, and we're actually going to have a separate video about the campground there and then the National Forest campground that we're staying at, just because this video is going to be pretty full as it is. So that'll be either last week or next week.
Yeah.
But if you take first of all, from the museum.
And the museum is where you'll see a little film that's 17 minutes long.
You can watch whatever part of that you want to. They do have some pottery, etc., tools that are in there. You can take a look at that. But one thing you don't want to miss, and it would be actually very easy to miss, and that is just behind the museum, there's a massive cliff dwelling there. And so the
spruce house.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that one. And so that kind of whets your appetite.
Yes.
You've seen that, and I'm not promising the video that you're going to be seeing will match anything that we're saying. I'm just saying the video is all video that we took today.
Yes.
But then when you start the drive, the ranger down at the visitor center said basically you're taking the right-hand drive, and that means you just keep taking right-hand turns.
As soon as you leave the museum, you turn right.
And there are pull-offs all along the way, and many of them you see there's a little building right there. The first several.
Yes.
And it kind of builds from just kind of these are ruins that are there, and they've just covered them so that you can go in and look at them. They're roped off, etc. And there are several of these buildings.
4 or 5, you think?
I don't recall, but then you get out to where you're actually able to see some of the cliff dwellings. And folks, not all of them are marked even on the displays that they have. Once you kind of realize about how far down they are, you start looking and you'll see more and more of them. And it's really fascinating. And some of them are, it looks like just fairly small, and then some of them are massive.
Very large.
And our suggestion would be, if there's a stop. And then if you can, some of them, like we said, are just right off the road. Many of them, if you cannot get out of the vehicle, somewhere along that drive, you can slow down and see the cliff dwelling over at the side. And so, like I said, we're coming at you from the opposite view of climbing down into them.
Yeah, you can see them all from your vehicle.
Yeah, the vast majority of them. And, you just keep following that loop, and many of the sidewalks are ADA accessible, not all of them, and they do have an accessibility information at the visitor center, so you can let them know. They did say if you're deaf and need a sign language interpreter, to let them know as far ahead of time as possible, because
they're in a small town.
Yeah, it's, between 2 little towns.
Yeah.
And so, but so far as accessibility and getting to viewpoints, etc., they have a pamphlet to go along with that. There is an audio tour that you can, when you're either at the visitor center or at the museum, you can download and follow that. A number of these stops, there are rangers that can answer questions, etc. And folks, this is July 1st, the day that we are here doing this, and we got to the visitor center at 8:30, thinking
when it opened.
Yeah, it's 8:30 until 4. We thought we were going to be seeing the video there, and found out no, it's a 45-minute drive because you're in a park. You're not driving that fast. And so my suggestion would be, if you're staying either in the park or really near the park, like we are, I kind of wish we had gone over yesterday afternoon, gotten the map, found out, we can be back at the museum at 8:30 and get an earlier start. But what I want to say is this: we were out driving the loop at 10, 10:30, 11. When you're in the shade, it's comfortable.
Yes.
And
but
folks,
a lot of the time, you are in the sun.
But there were many of those stops where we were the only ones at the stop.
Yes.
Or 1 or 2 others. The exception is where they take people down on the tours. And the tour groups gather there to go down in a climb through. And that was one where it was steep and a bit further off the road. But the vast majority of these folks, if you can pull off, and there are the guide for the Mesa Top Loop will kind of help you see what it is you're looking for.
And that is not at we didn't see it at the visitor center or at the museum. It was at the first stop in a little
kiosk thing.
Yeah.
And they request $1 donation for the little book. So you can either do that, or you can pick one up and put it in the last box you stop at, or you can just take it. But this is a national park that 2 weeks ago we had no intentions of visiting, and
We spent the better part of the day.
yeah, we spent the majority of the day there, and it was fascinating, and we are so thankful we did. So, like I said, if you're someone that thinks, well, I can't climb down into these dwellings, it's not worth it, think again. Because this has been a very, very worthwhile day. And either at Cortez or Durango, depending on which direction you're coming, you probably want to stock up with things there. There's just not a whole lot in between. And like I said, we'll be talking about the campground. There was gasoline there, but it looked like it was about $1.50 a gallon more than other places. So something like that. And we've seen some for just under $3. So anyway, this is our take on Mesa Verde National Park, and one that we're very thankful we didn't miss.
Yes.
We hope you've enjoyed our look at it. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers. And we are very tired. We got in and out of the van
exhausted.
a lot today. At one point when we were getting out, Marlena said, I'm on vacation, I'm doing this. So we did.